Bruce and I arrive at our hotel, the Plaka Hotel, located in the heart of the Plaka in Athens, Greece. And of course the requirement is that everyone has a view of the Acropolis and Parthenon, and look at that beautiful view. We haven't seen that for a while. After settling in at the hotel, we head down to nearby Monasteries Square, which is a popular meeting place surrounded by restaurants and cafes, and I can't even think of the amount of coffees and food that we've eaten at this square over the years. Lovely Greek panpipes. The plan for the rest of the day is to look around the Plaka area of Athens a little more, have a early meal, and then we're going to relax and have an early night, because tomorrow we're on a 4-hour train trip, 220 miles or about 350 kilometers, to travel to Meteora to see the Meteora Monasteries. So it's a big trip, but it'll be well worth it, and the monasteries are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it'll be something well worth seeing. This is Meteora, or Meteora as some call it, and we're here to visit some of those monasteries on top of those rocks up there. You might be able to see some of them.
The Turkish name, so between the 400 years of the Ottoman occupation of Greece.
We're on a small tour bus with about 20 other tourists, and our guide has let us know that the very first monastery we're visiting is the Holy Monastery of St. Nicolaus of Ephesus, founded in the 14th century. It's also the monastery with the most stairs we need to climb, so we're glad we're getting that done first. We're nearly at the first monastery. Oh boy. I hope this is the steepest one. Oh crap. And let's face it, when you get to the top, look at that view, and it doesn't matter at what monastery that you're at, you've got a fantastic view. No wonder the monks love it. Oh, and you can see just another monastery just up there. It's amazing to feel the awe and respect that we have for the builders of not only this monastery but all of the monasteries in the Meteora region. I mean, look at this work and how old it is. And as our guide has mentioned to us, is that a number of the rooms are actually not available for the public to go and visit. So they are reserved only for the monks. But as we head towards the roof at the very top of the monastery, I mean, look at this view. It's no wonder the monks and the religious order chose this location. It must make them feel like they're in heaven. It's just amazing, and even having it on video doesn't do it justice. And look at the little town of Kalambaka just down there, with its sitting under the mist. And I think we've got another shot coming up of, for all those people that might think, oh my god, he's so unfit, this is how far down it is and how steep it is to get up here. So I actually feel pretty good over that. Our tour operator and guide lets us know that it's time to leave the monastery, so we head back down to the bus, down the very steep stairs, and on to our next monastery, the Holy Monastery of Varlam. As we're heading towards our next monastery, the guide asks the bus driver to pull over into an observation area so we can take some video and photographs. And I know I keep saying it, but this area would have to be one of the most photogenic areas in Greece. It is absolutely amazing. And I keep saying it, but if you get the chance and you go to Greece, go to Meteora. You will absolutely love it. After walking up about 200 steps, you come to a bridge where you cross onto the rock that the monastery is actually built on. Don't look down if you suffer from vertigo or fear of heights, because it's a big valley underneath, but it's the only way that you can reach the monastery. But the views from it and the museum are well worth it. In the mid-14th century, a monk by the name of Varlam and some fellow monks scaled the large rock which is now the current Varlam Monastery and established their own chapel and small monastery on top of the rock. Decades later, after Varlam had passed away, the other monks basically abandoned the site, and it wasn't until the 16th century that two more monks, Theophanes and Nectarios, brothers, reactivated the abandoned monastery and begun operating again. Even though their monastery was originally founded by Varlam, the two brothers, Theophanes and Nectarios, are often celebrated as being the founders of the modern day monastery. After leaving the museum, we come across a large balconied area which of course has the obligatory view over Meteora, and look at the work that goes into looking after the plants and everything. It's as clean as anything and is an incredible tribute to the monks, and yes, it's entirely looked after by the monks of the monastery. It's spectacular. It doesn't seem like it's long before our guide is rounding us up to get us back onto the bus to head off to the next monastery, the largest in the group, the Grand Meteoron. Another all-male monastery, I must add as well. Once upon a time, the whole valley below these rocks used to be full of monasteries, albeit much, much smaller than the large monasteries on top of the rocks. Our guide is very understanding and lets us have lots of opportunities to get out, walk around on rocks and viewing platforms to make the most of the breathtaking scenes, and it's just magical. From here you can see 5 of the 6 monasteries. And just down below us, I don't know if you can hear the noise, but there's some little goats running around with bells on, so the shepherd can keep an eye on them and knows where they are. But we make the most of the scenes, take a few extra photographs, and then head off to our next monastery. Not all the monasteries are open every day, and this is the case with the Great Meteoron that we're looking at here. Our guide still brought us to have a look at it close up, but we're unable to go inside. If you actually look carefully, you can see some steel wires going across from the platform that we're standing on to the monastery itself. And they've actually rigged up a system where there's a big crate, I suppose, I don't know what you'd call it, that can go back and forth, and this is the primary way to get into the monastery. Despite not being able to go inside the monastery, we're certainly very appreciative that our guide went out of his way to bring us here, so we can at least have a look, at least from the outside anyway, of the great Meteora. We're back on the road again, and one thing I can't get out of my head is every time the sun comes out from behind a cloud, the scene looks different. Sometimes the valley is casting grey, other times it's in a blue haze, other times there's light rays coming from behind clouds, which is very spectacular, other times it's yellow. It's really amazing. Anyway, we're coming up to the holy monastery of Saint Stephan, so we head on in and are greeted with some spectacular views across Kalambaka. This particular monastery in Meteora is a little different in the fact that it's actually run by nuns, whereas all the other monasteries that we've seen today are all male monasteries. And apparently the nuns will come out and chat with you, as some of the monks will do at the other monasteries, but as yet none have come out to chat to us. Maybe they didn't like the looks of us or something. At the moment we're not really quite sure where we're going, we're just following everybody else, and they seem to be heading out to the panoramic view, and we go past these beautiful garden beds, as you can see here, partly in flower, and then we come across one of the best views of the town of Kalambaka that we've seen yet in the Meteora region. And look at that, is that just brilliant or what? As our day at Meteora draws to a close, we sit back and reflect on some of the things we've seen and people we've talked to, and in particular there was an American couple that we were talking to on the train from Athens to Meteora, and they were in our cabin, and really good to speak to them, and it was good to catch up with them at this very last monastery. We didn't ever see them again, so I wish them luck with the rest of their trip. As our day on our Meteora trip draws to a close, we reflect back on some of the people that we've met today, fantastic people who are tourists like ourselves. We look back on the monasteries that we've never seen in the flesh before. The only one that we couldn't go to, which was a bit of a shame, was the Holy Trinity, and this is probably the most photographed out of all of the monasteries because of its breathtaking layout. So thank you for checking out our video. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, and following up you can choose some more videos to watch. Thank you very much for watching.